Alright, what's up everyone? Let me clean the screen real quick. Yeah, I know everybody doesn't want to see my finger, but this is the first time I'm using this chest mount. God, half the battle was putting it on with a jacket. But it looks different, and I showed Britt, she kind of laughed. And she thought, she said the same thing, it looks different, but we don't know if we want to use it or not at the market. And like I was telling my wife, if I used it at the market, I'll be like, there's no way anybody can deny being on camera. I mean, it's like right up in your face. It's not me holding it anymore. It's like, bam! Like, hey, here I am. And it like sticks out like a sore thumb. Like sometimes people don't notice the GoPro, but this, it's like, whoa, looks like you got a Woody or something I'm looking at. Oh, but we're gonna take apart some air conditioners today. We're gonna try this chest mount out. You can see I already took a few of them apart. Stay open. Gosh. But this is my little workshop in the winter. I mean, does the job. I got my other shed there with a whole bunch of air conditioners and everything now. All these have already been drained, so there's nothing I gotta worry about. The only thing, the hard part is just bringing them right to here. Yeah, you can see I got more back there. That's why I gotta start taking these apart. Well, sorry for the long intro. Let's get started. Alright, first things first, I'll grab one. Alright, let's see how well this works with the chest mount, because never used it before. I don't have no workshop set up, nothing like that. Oh yeah, you're totally staring at my crotch. There we go. First things first, you just want to get out all these extra screws. I mean, you could just take a sledgehammer to this, bust it all apart. Probably the easier thing, but I got a headache right now, so kind of just taking the screws out slowly. And sometimes there's screws around the bottom. They're like hidden. I'm sorry, I'm like having you guys upside down. Alright, so you can see right there, that's what I was talking about, screws at the bottom. So we get that out. And I haven't taken one of these apart yet, so not too sure how. When in doubt, then you go back to the hammer. Boom. Got that part out. We got a couple more screws. It's like a bunch of clips that hold it together. That's why I couldn't get it apart, but I didn't know there was clips. Oh my god, there's more. Save me some time later, get these out now. Yeah, so this is one of my favorite tools. Cuts copper very well. It's like an old cable cutter, so if anybody comes across one of these, I will definitely buy it from you, but it has to have this little spring, because this is my favorite tool to cut copper. I mean, it did take a chunk out my finger. It's hidden by the gloves and a band-aid right now, but if I want to go cut this, so easy. If I want to cut it with these, it's a little more pressure. So this one's definitely easier to just pop it off instead of this one. A little bit more pressure on my fingers. Yeah, there's like screws everywhere. Basically, I do this just to pass some time. Give me something to do. I don't know what all these extra screws are for. It's holding the two together. You do not want to be doing this while it still has oil or Freon in it, because it will like drain all over the place, create a big mess. Let's see, will it pop off now? Alright, the stupid clips are holding it together pretty well. There we go. Rip that off. Huh, pretty different looking. So this is basically a test video to see if I like using the chest mount or not. So far it feels like I got, I don't know, it's like constricting my stomach. It makes me feel weird. It feels like somebody's holding you. But then again, I could all be doing this with one hand and it would be taking way forever. I don't know, this one's like difficult. The other ones I took apart weren't this difficult. Where'd my tool go? Get that out the way, get that out the way, that's come right out. Whenever it starts taking too long, you just use a little bit of brute force and it'll come right apart. This was also the well, I think I said it, that took a chunk out my finger. Squeezing it together, somehow my finger got caught in there. It took a chunk out of it. Alright, how's this stupid piece come off? It doesn't work that good for wires. Sort of. I don't even know if you guys can actually hear me, so that will also be the test. Hey, there's the sun. Hopefully you come out Sunday. I gotta make some money. But we might try Thursday again also. Yeah, this is, I pinched my finger. But show you guys something else. Throw like all my copper right in there. That'll be all cut apart later to separate the number 1 and the number 2. Even got another air conditioner sitting right in here. Okay. I don't actually like videoing scrapping that much because it seems it gets in the way, but it is what it is. Let's see that. There we go, perfect fit. Alright, that's off. Feel like I gotta keep adjusting this camera. Now, really none of this I'm gonna save. Camera. The little wires don't really seem that worth it to keep. Yeah, that's no wire. So we just hold all that right outside. Now they get this little motor out. Need to add this back on. I know that's a bad use for the gun, but it works. Get that out of my way. Oh yeah, I don't know how to get this off. It looks like a few screws. Or we do this. That's one piece. And brute force. I guess not. See, it's all these clips. I don't know if you could see these, but they're pretty strong. Alright, we're done. I actually use my hammer for this one. And same thing. Get that out. Take that off. You got 3 screws in here. This one actually only has 2. Make life easier before you try yanking it out, just cut the wires. And that comes right out. Throw it in your motor pile to be taken apart later. Same with these things. But basically later we'll be cutting all these apart. You gotta cut all the copper off. One side's all nice and clean copper. The other sides, you could either cut all these like right there and then right here to get the number 2, or you can cut them all with a grinder and just throw all this side into your number 2, but save this piece because that's clean. You cut it 2 places. That's how they come apart. Basically, when you cut this also, these will split apart too. But that's basically it. And then we throw all this stuff aside. That will all go to scrap. We made a little bit of a mess with this one. There's a little piece of copper right there. Keep that. Alright, we're gonna try one more. But this one, I'm gonna try the fast way. Throw it on its side. Hopefully you have some boots on. Oh, no, don't want to get water everywhere. So take that out. Flip it over. I know I'm getting everybody dizzy. This also works with sledgehammer also. And it looks like it's not gonna work because these screws, the other one I did it too, didn't have the screws in the back, or they busted like these. Alright, well, trying to show off and it didn't work out. So basically just take the slow route again, take all the dang screws out. Like, oh, it's lighting up because it's in the sun. I was like, how the hell did it lighten up? Alright, what's holding it now? Yeah, I tend to throw a lot of stuff when I'm scrapping. Just kind of don't give a crap. Yeah, that's off. Cut that piece of copper. Come on, why aren't you working? Plus now I'm like sweating. I want to take my jacket off so bad, but then I gotta take the case off for the GoPro and all that. Which, that way when I have my hands, well, when I just had it outside the case, I could just take my jacket off real easy. Alright, this one looks like it's the big one, so I got that set also. That's a 1/2 inch, and that one's a 10 millimeter. Basically, you can see that right off the bat. Probably because we were smashing it so much, we loosened this bolt at the bottom. That's coming out a different way. Everything's in my way. This thing does not want to play nice. So it's supposed to be all fast and everything. Now it's like dragging on. Sorry. Didn't plan on that. I literally bent everything into my way. Oh my god. You stupid thing. Still got the fan on there to take off. Yeah, usually these come right out. I don't have to even use this on the bottom. This is definitely a crappy scrapping video. It's not one I normally make, but come on. See? These stupid clips. Hold it in everywhere. I mean, they're actually made pretty strong to hold that. Come on. Nothing wants to work. Alright, that one's off. That can all go to scrap. How's this? I like to save the washers from these also for future projects of mine. They're nice washers. So we just throw that aside. God, I'm so disorganized and losing stuff. The good part is a lot of these are metal, so it's easier just to bring a magnet in, but these ones actually look like they're aluminum. I don't have a magnet in here to even test it, but basically I bring my magnet in later, picks up all the screws. It's a lot easier. Also, another little trick is sometimes if it's easily accessible, leave a little bit of copper on your motors. My scrapyard accepts it with the number 2 copper once we get all that out. So I leave about that much wire on my motors when I take my motors apart. It's a good little trick to make a little bit of extra money. It's not much. Some places allow it, some places do not. Me, I kind of, they say they don't allow that. I tell them, like, look, it's number 2 copper, it's not number 1, so if you don't want it, I'll bring it somewhere else. But most of the time they don't even say nothing about it, as long as you have a lot of it. Alright, well, that's it for this video, I guess. We're going to clean this stuff up and we're going to take it apart a few more, and guess I'll let you guys watch, but I'm not going to have you on my chest anymore. I take my gloves off just to shut the camera off, but now you can see. Well, put a new band-aid, but right there I'm missing like a nice little chunk out my thumb because of that tool. But if anybody knows what that's called, let me know. That way I can buy myself another one. I can't even get this stupid thing off. That way I can get myself another one and we can do more work. But alright, we'll get you guys out the case and you can watch what I'm doing. Alright, welcome back. So we got this air conditioner in here. This one's been sitting out in the yard for a while. Has some losing my voice. Has some insulation in there, but this is all with the 1/4 1/4-inch sockets, which I am missing mine. Oh, wait a minute. That's it right there. Alright, so we're gonna set you guys right there. Get this one taken apart now. Rusty screws give you a little bit of a problem. At least it didn't strip all the way, and at least I was still able to get it out. Oh, come on. Alright, just get this off. That way that's out of my way. Alright. Tried looking for my magnet in the yard. Couldn't find that. I mean, my yard is a mess. So ones on the side gotta come out. Hate when they get stuck. That ever happens, just reinsert it in the hole, screw it in a little bit, and screw it right out. The main important thing I'm missing is having my gloves on. I'm actually going to stick them on because I don't want to hurt my hands any more than they already are. Dusty. Doesn't want to cut sideways. Oh. Alright, that's a lot heavier than all the other ones. You got some spider eggs in there and everything. Get this out of my way also. Coming out of this one. A nice big piece of copper. Another one. And we'll cut this right there. So that's all copper. That goes in our copper bucket. This one feels like it wants to come out, but stuck by more of those 1/4 screws. And that one's out. Clear off all that shit. Put that on top. So this one looks kind of difficult to get that off. There's like a whole bunch of junk and everything around. So when that happens, I'll grab the saws off. And that made short work of that. Nice piece of aluminum. Now, I'm going to have to do that for the other side too. But this one, I can't see it. Always good to have a nice sharp blade also. Alright, so that fan's off. That'll be fun taking apart later. And this one at the bottom looks like it just has some clips that hold this together. And a nice black spider that wants to come and say hi. I don't like spiders that much. So let's pop these clips off. You go up and you pull. It's a lot easier than the bolts. Boom, and that's disconnected. And there you go. That's how we take apart our air conditioners. Like I said, all this stuff will get cut apart in other videos, but basically that's how we take apart our air conditioners fast to get them processed. Alright, well thank you guys for watching our married adventures, and we'll see you next time. Alright, bye.